Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee, Paper, Scissors. I'm working on this journal and I thought I would share with you how I am figuring out pages. First of all, I'm watching a video as I do it for inspiration, and it is from Shawcraft One, and the video is about 3 years old. And as she's turning through her journal, I'm getting ideas that way on like different papers to use. So I see what she did and I'm like, oh, let's see if I have something like that, so that I'm not sitting here going, what do I do? So what I have so far, I'll just show you. This is just the beginning. I'm not adding pockets or anything. I'm just putting papers in. And whatever looks like maybe it doesn't go, if I end up thinking it doesn't go in the long run, then I'll remove it. But after I put pockets and I add other little things, we'll see. But right now, this is what it is. And then if it's something that has a white backside, then I'm backing it with something else. I made a little flashcard to put in. And then these were the pockets that came in this binder. I cut them down. So again, just putting papers in. And like I said, whatever maybe looks like it doesn't go right now, it might later. And if not, then I'll take it out. So I want to start from the bottom and build up. And I'm trying to do about 4 pages in between each of these. And then when I get all the way through the journal, if there's still room, I'll add some, but I'm going like less at the beginning because I usually end up where they're really fat and kind of hard to turn. So I have an old magazine. It's from 1947, and I pulled this page out, and I'm going to back it with this page. I've already cut the page down, so it's the same size as this, and then I'll build on top of it. So here's what I'm doing. Again, I need a bigger desk. My desk is pretty big, so I mean, I'm just being silly, but I need a bigger craft room so I can have a bigger desk. No problem. Yeah, so I like this for, a cookbook journal. So we'll do that, and we'll just cover up this side. Isn't this funny? It's Beauty for Teenagers. And I do remember reading it at one point. But I'm not going to sit and look at it now. Who knows what things that they were telling people to do back then. We're not much better now. I see different, influencers telling us what to use. And every one of them says something different. And I just, at some point you just got to roll your eyes. The term snake oil salesman. And people will go around back in the day before anybody had any information about anything, and they'd sell you whatever, and you'd fall for it because you didn't have any information to know better whether or not you should do something. Well, even though we have all this information today, it's no different. They're a bunch of snake oil salesmen, and it's very frustrating to me. I feel like if I just knew something worked really well, like hydration, I would totally buy it. But I get dermatologists. I'm not a dermatologist. I just play one on TV. You get them, saying, buy this, but they're all saying something different. So, how can you trust it? I have a dermatologist that I see, and she obviously sells something completely different than the ones that I see on videos. So Oh well. Oh well. So then I take and cut it down. Oops, I have to go this way first. Yeah, and something I've noticed also is, so a lot of them, they'll show you a picture of before and after, but if you look really closely, there are certain things in the picture that are exactly the same. All they've done is retouched the picture. And, you know, they try and make it look like they're, you know, being honest with you, but if you look really closely, you can see the same hair is out of place, or, you know, like their eyelash. I look at their eyelashes and their hair, and that it'll be exactly the same. You know, maybe they've made it look a little fuzzier or something like that, so that it is masking the fact that they just retouched the photo. So then I'm like, oh, so I really trust your company. I think I'll buy that. And then there's 100 comments underneath about how fantastic it is and how everybody saw 100% difference. I don't believe it. I think if somebody really did, we'd all know it. You know, like if somebody found something that really, really, really worked, at this point, we'd all know it. We'd all have it. And we'd all look 20 years younger. Okay. So I'm not doing like heavy inking, just a little bit. So I liked this because, well, it's a cute page, but it also has the recipe. So I thought that was really fun. What is, let's see what they have in there. Flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, shortening, lukewarm milk, vanilla, and eggs. 2-egg cake. Oh, it's probably delicious. I always say, you know, I don't eat a lot of eggs because they gross me out just a little bit. I can eat like a boiled egg, or I can eat an egg with toast, or, you know, like together, but an egg by itself, ugh, I have a hard time. And so I always joke by saying I like my eggs with flour and sugar, you know, like cookies or cake. How do you take your eggs? In the form of a cake? Okay, so we'll put this down. And that'll be the base of our 4 pages. And so then the next page that I thought would look good is this. These two go really well. So I think what do I want to do? I think I'm trying to go like different sizes and all of that. So we'll go maybe, hopefully you guys are in camera, not exactly the full height of the page underneath it, but okay, where did I make my mark? Okay, right at the bar. Make it a little bit bigger. And then we'll go maybe here. And then this page, I'm not really going to do much of anything to it. I'll do this. No, we'll do this first. I think I know where my mark is. So, I was talking about, you know, face stuff. So I started using something that the dermatologist, what they sell, she said, you know what, the company that makes this, because I was telling her, you know, it's awfully expensive, my goodness. And she said, not the dermatologist herself, but one of her estheticians said, you know, the company that makes what we sell also makes a drugstore brand. And so she told me which one it was. And she said they're, you know, similar, not the same, but they're similar. So if you don't want to pay this high amount, go get it from, you know, you can get it like Ulta or something at Target, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I did, and I don't know if it was it or something else that I did, but I ended up breaking out all around my mouth and my nose. And so I thought it's gonna go away, it's gonna go away, and it would not go away. So I went to another dermatologist. Like, I do one that's like skin cancer screening, and the other one is more like if you want a facial. Anyway, so I went to the skin cancer screening one, and I was like, okay, what is going on with my face? And she said, you have, I think the word is perioral dermatitis. And I was like, well, what on earth is that and why? And she said people get it, you know, for different reasons, but oftentimes for someone my age is because I over moisturized. And I'm like, okay, the only thing I can think of is that I used that product. I'm like, okay, so here I'm trying to do something good for my skin. So I give up. I give up. And whatever happens, happens. Because I had to go on antibiotics. I was like, well, how does it go away? She said, you have to take antibiotics. And so she said, you can do antibiotic cream or you can do an oral antibiotic. So this way, see how nice that looks together? I really like that. And then over here, and I know this is kind of a bright yellow, but I figure whenever I put a pocket on it and stick stuff will be covered up. So it'll be fine. So then I thought we would put something like this over the top of it. I thought that would be cute, and we'll go full height on it, I think. But then I want some of this to show. Or maybe I'll go all the way out like this and make it shorter. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I want the wood showing over on that side. So if I go full, I can always cut it down if I don't like it. Let me start with that. Anyway, so I could do pill form or I could do the, you know, on my face form. And she told me that I would have to take the pill form for 2 months. I was like, there is no way I'm going to remember. I can hardly remember to take my vitamins or anything for that matter. I cannot remember that sort of thing. And so I was like, no, I wash my face before I go to bed every night. So I will remember to use it, you know, when I'm washing my face. So we'll just do that. And it did finally go away. Okay, so this is not turning out how I thought. It's going to be dark, dark, dark. So maybe I want a dark on the top and a light on the bottom. I was thinking I was going to have a wood trim all the way around, and that is what I would prefer. So maybe, shoot. Okay, maybe I do that instead. And the one on top will go farther. Okay. So what I'm doing here, so I'll finish my story. I ended up doing the cream, and sorry if my head is in the camera. And it did go away. It took about a month and a half to 2 months. And it did finally go away, but I'm afraid to use anything that's overly moisturizing on my face because it looked like acne. And you know, I'm too old for that. I don't want it anymore. Had enough of it, honestly. was one of those people who always thought, well, you know, I'll probably get over it soon. I'll get over it soon. Nope. I just kept going and kept going and kept going. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit of this down. I want the wood showing, so I'm trying to keep that, but also be able to see a layer underneath it. Yeah, so we'll do here. So you guys, I had started working on, you know, cleaning out my craft room and stuff like that, but I get tired of doing just one thing. And so I thought I need to go ahead and start another project, which is why I'm doing this. But at the same time, and perhaps I said this already and you've heard it, or you didn't watch the entirety of the last video because it was feature length. But one way to use up your, or you know, one way to purge is to actually use your stuff. So I am using things that I've had in my stash forever. So that's still a way of cleaning your craft room out. The back side of this is white, so I'm going to find a paper to glue to the back of it. Okay, so I put that one in, and the back is one of these that came with the binder. And then on top, I wanted to use one of these, and I thought we would do something that comes all the way out, but is shorter. I might actually make it in the form of a tag. That might be kind of fun. So let's cut it about maybe it's hard for me to see that way. I can't do a tag because it won't get punched. It won't get hole punched. That's okay though. I could always do something down here. I could do a tag like that. Okay. I don't know, maybe not. We're just gonna go, we're gonna do this. Do you guys do that? You mark your paper and can't see where you marked it? I try to leave the mark small enough that it doesn't cause a problem, but still. And then let's see, where is my page? Let me, they're all the same size, so wait, do I have one that I like better than the other? Do I want to cut off the hot dogs? I like root beer. It's fine. All right, where'd I put my mark? I see it. It's up there by the turkey. Yeah, and then the back is just this. So I'll probably put pockets with, you know, something. I don't know yet, but, you know, it goes color-wise. So let's go ahead and just punch around it real quick. I have a lot of these little things to clean up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing this until I get the journal filled up, and then I will decide if there's still room for more pages or if I should start adding pockets and, you know, things like that. I just don't know yet until I get farther done. I'm going to still ink the back because there's white edge, you know, there's the white edge where the design is, so it'll still show. Okay, so remember, whatever doesn't quite go right now, you never know what will happen because so much will be added to the journal that it all works out in the end. And, you know, I take things out where I see necessary. And then also, what you see through the camera is not necessarily what I see. It doesn't always translate. Okay, where'd my punch go? Okay, and then I still need to put, snap, you guys, snap. I still need to put something in this. I've been putting things in here also. I don't have anything in this one. And then I'll put something in these as well. Okay, so that is what I'm doing now until I finish. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more sections to go. I will link that video that I'm looking at by Shopcraft One in the description box below. Make sure you go over and check it out. I don't think she's making videos anymore. I think I noticed that it was quite a few months since her last video, and she started doing other things like gardening and stuff like that. So, but still, she has amazing things on her channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.